From Redead's dancing in place to an early hint towards the GameCube a year and a half before its release, today we're counting down 30 facts and secrets you probably didn't know from the game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. But first, thank you guys so much for the support over the last few weeks and for helping me get past the 15,000 subscriber milestone I've been stuck on. Your guys' support really means the most, and we are well on our way to 20k. Now, before we get into today's content, I want to take a moment for a channel announcement. While these videos aren't sponsored, I'd like to extend an invitation for you guys to support the channel directly by becoming a channel member. I'm excited to announce that I'm going to be transitioning our live streams from Twitch over to here on YouTube, making it easier for you guys to join in on the fun. By becoming a channel member, you'll gain access to our exclusive emotes for use during our live streams, and you can directly support the channel's growth through YouTube, eliminating the need for third-party apps. Plus, I'll be prioritizing channel member questions for potential short video topics in the future, so if you haven't already, now is the perfect time to consider becoming a channel member. With all that said, let's dive into the video. Number 30. In The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, when you talk to the dog race lady named Mamamoo Yan, she will give you various responses as to why you can't participate in the race if you're wearing any of the main transformation masks. If you wear the Goron mask, she will say that the dogs will be scared of you. If you wear the Deku mask, Mamamoo Yan will warn you that the dogs will attack you. But where things really get interesting is when you put on the Zora mask. After you put on the Zora mask, Mamamoo Yan will inform you that the dogs love the smell of Zora Link. So I guess we know that Zora Link canonically smells like fish. Number 29. Normally in Majora's Mask, whenever you talk to a guard, he makes sure that you are equipped with a sword before you can leave Clocktown. However, if a Takuri steals your sword and you talk to a guard, it will trigger unique dialogue where he asks you if you had your sword stolen, and he gives you advice on where you could possibly find it. If you follow his advice, it'll take you to the Curiosity Shop where you can find your stolen goods. Number 28. Your sword serves as the key to unlocking various owl statues scattered throughout the game. However, it's possible to encounter an owl statue when you don't have your sword. This might occur if your sword was stolen by a Takuri, as I mentioned earlier, or if you're in the process of upgrading it. If you attempt to activate an owl statue while transformed into a Deku, Zora, or Goron, you won't be able to strike it. However, you can activate it by using a Deku stick to hit the owl statue instead. Number 27. In Termina Field, when you're looking through the telescope, if you look closely in the grass, you can see an outline of the Skull Kid. I don't know about you guys, but this blew my mind to find. This is definitely one of the best hidden secrets in the game. Number 26. In the mask selection screen, if you've collected all the masks, you'll notice something intriguing about the arrangement of the second row. This arrangement isn't random, as it's actually a nod to the Star Fox crew. Number 25. The Happy Mask Salesman can be shown carrying a host of different masks on his back, and if you look closely, one of those masks just so happens to be Mario. Number 24. Mario isn't the only character from the Mario Bros. Franchise to have an Easter egg in Majora's Mask. If you keep your eyes peeled, you can find an Easter egg featuring Bowser on Romani and Cremia's scarves. Number 23. Inside the Stockpot Inn, among the inhabitants, you can interact with Anju's grandmother. While interacting with her, if you take a close look, you'll notice something interesting on the back of her chair. The chair has a picture of a tiger printed on it. This subtle detail is a clever nod to her pet tiger from Ocarina of Time. Number 22. If you wear the Garo's mask in Ikana Canyon, Redeads won't attack you and will instead start dancing. Number 21. One of my favorite things about Majora's Mask that makes the world feel so alive is how the characters react to the impending doom that is the moon's slow descent down into the world. The characters throughout the game will react with a wide range of emotions, and the swordsman is a perfect example of this. When you talk to him, he will come off as brave, even claiming he will slice the moon into pieces. However, during the game's final hours, the swordsman can be found cowering in his back room. Number 20. Whenever the moon shakes and causes tremors throughout Termina, the cow decoration next to the swordsman's head bobbles in the swordsman's school. Number 19. Normally, when you enter the swordsman's school and hit the gong, nothing is going to happen. However, if you hit the gong at the beginning of each hour or at the half-hour mark, the gong will drop rupees. Number 18. The birds that fly around Termina Field are known as gwei. Gwei are very satisfying to fight with your bow, but this particular one outside of Clocktown has a hidden secret. If you stand under this bird and play one of the temple songs, the gwei will start dropping rupees. If you manage to follow this bird all the way to the end, it gracefully flies off into the sky. Number 17. While looking through the telescope in the observatory, you can see a gwei flying around Termina Field. If you follow the gwei with your telescope, he will eventually drop a rupee worth 20 rupees. If you go out to Termina Field, the rupee won't have disappeared, and if you stand side by side with it, you'll see that it's gigantic and practically the size of Link. Number 16. We have yet another fact involving gwei. I swear, these things are the gift that keep on giving. If you venture out and decide to repeatedly defeat gweis, eventually a larger one will spawn. This larger gwei behaves much like any other gwei, albeit with a bigger hitbox. And similar to regular gweis, it only takes one shot from your bow to eliminate it. Number 15. After winning the Goron race in Majora's Mask, there isn't much you can do in the area outside of running the track again. Although there isn't much to do, this area provides a unique camera angle that allows us to see Link using his first-person items in a third-person perspective. This is a fun spot where you can play around with Link's arrows, the hook shot, Deku Link's bubbles, and pretty much all of Link's ranged attacks. Number 14. If you go to the observatory and break some pots, you will see paper on the ground with a drawing of a dolphin. This is a reference to the Nintendo GameCube's codename going by Dolphin. This little Easter egg actually teases the GameCube a year and a half before its eventual release. Number 13. While looking through the telescope of the observatory, you can spot two characters showing you the locations of hidden holes in Termina Field. Number 12. This is a strange Majora's Mask fact I'm sure most of us never noticed. If you wear the Gorman Brothers mask and talk to the Gorman Brothers, you will see their facial expressions change immediately. Number 11. There is a secret alternative cutscene that plays out only in the first 3-day cycle of the game before you reset time. To see this cutscene, you need to be inside the underground passage that leads to the observatory, or you need to be within the observatory itself. Number 10. One of the nicest features of bonus content added for the 3DS version of Majora's Mask was that they added fishing to the game. Also, the fishing ponds are the only areas outside of boss battles where you can use the Fierce Deity Mask without performing any glitches. Number 9. In the fishing ponds of Majora's Mask 3D, you can catch a fish called Lord Chapu Chapu, which is a reference to Lord Jabu Jabu from Ocarina of Time. I don't know about you guys, but I can't help but wonder if this is Jabu Jabu's Termanian counterpart. Number 8. Your first time playing Majora's Mask, you may struggle to make your way through the Deku Palace because the guards keep catching you. However, during the night, the guards actually reveal their line of sight, making it easier to navigate. Number 7. A satisfying movement trick you can perform on the N64 version of Majora's Mask is spinning off of a lily pad and gaining speed while bouncing in the water. Unfortunately, these movement options were nerfed in the 3DS version of the game, which angered a lot of hardcore fans, especially the speedrunning community. Fortunately, Project Restoration, which is where I've been recording most of the 3DS footage from, fixes most of these issues, so shout out to them. Number 6. In Majora's Mask, following the Ikana Canyon River actually leads you to a shortcut that takes you directly to Deku Swamp. You can even see your character fall down a waterfall. Number 5. If you interact with different NPCs in Majora's Mask wearing various masks, there's a good chance you will get some different dialogue. One of the best examples of this is the Bombshoe Lady, who will give you different prices depending on the mask you wear. And interestingly enough, she will charge Zora Link only 5 rupees to play, as opposed to Goron Link, who she will charge 30 rupees to play, despite claiming that Gorons are her type. Number 4. Here is an Easter egg I'm sure most of us never noticed in Majora's Mask. If you wear the Kamaro mask in front of a scarecrow, it'll make the scarecrow dance. Number 3. If you wear the Deku or Goron mask in Ikano Canon, Gibdos may scare you, but they won't attack you. However, this doesn't apply to the Zora mask, as the Gibdos will jump on Zora Link's back and attack you. This is probably because Zora Link's model is much closer to Adult Link's model from Ocarina of Time. Number 2. Zelda was originally going to give Link a flute to play the Song of Time, however, it was swapped out with the iconic Ocarina of Time. Number 1. If you wear the Captain's mask while you go to refight the Captain, you will get a unique cutscene. Well guys, that does it. Majora's Mask is one of my favorite games of all time, so it's really been a joy to go back and explore some old areas. Majora's Mask is actually a really robust game in terms of things to talk about, so I may actually explore doing more facts on this game in the future. But until then, if you guys enjoy content like this and want to keep up to date with my videos as they release, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell. Also, if you guys would like to gain access to our emotes so that you can use them while I live stream here on YouTube, please consider becoming a channel member. It helps me out immensely, and with me moving my live streaming from Twitch over to here on YouTube, you will get to use it now more than ever because I really love interacting with you guys and answering your cartoon and video game related questions while playing classic games. Alrighty guys, you all take care, have a good one.